And Guy, the referendum getting closer. How are things going to play out? I mean, yesterday we had these protests outside the Parliament, which is behind you. Now, what were they protesting? I think that was a yes camp following the no vote protest the night before.
Yeah, it's been one night on, one night off. Last night it was definitely the yes camp coming out, voicing its support for remaining within the Eurozone, Rish. The night before it was the no camp. It rained pretty heavily last night here in Athens, and that may have dampened enthusiasm. There were as many umbrellas up last night as there were placards suggesting that Greece should remain in the Eurozone. We're going to see some polling later today, we think, which should give us an idea about which way this vote is likely to go. Polling not always accurate, and in such a difficult and short time frame, that's going to make the pollsters' job even more difficult. But we're going to get an idea later. We're going to try and get an understanding of exactly which way this one is going to go. And then you're going to see, obviously, the next few days, the political pressure really being ramped up. But from what we can judge at the moment, it's an incredibly tight race, one way or the other. And Mr. Tsipras is pushing very, very hard to make sure that it's the no camp. We've got the mayors of towns like Athens and Thessaloniki trying to push the other side of the fence. We haven't heard really from the other parties aggressively yet about which position they stand on. But at the moment, Mr. Tsipras really taking a very hard line. We need to vote no. We need to give ourselves a much stronger negotiating position.
Guy, you know, the Prime Minister did start this 2-year bailout. He wanted to see if Germany would say yes to that. They said no deal until after this referendum. Was that a desperate move coming out from the Greek government?
It was, to a certain extent. I think it was a stalling tactic. It may have been related to the ECB, Yvonne, to try and make sure that it didn't pull the plug today. There's some fear here that we could see the ECB meetings later today being critical. They could raise the haircuts on the collateral that is applied by Greek banks to the ECB to get ELA money. And if they were to do that, there is fear here about whether or not some of those banks will survive. So, yeah, a desperate last measure. And I think you're going to see a lot of this over the next few days.